Have you ever seen something from the corner of your eye that wasn't there when you looked? How about hearing from a friend of a friend that while they were hiking somewhere, they thought they saw something impossible? When they spoke to someone, there was always a simple but vague explanation that left everyone unsatisfied. My name is Chris, and I'm here with my colleague Jack, and we're senior wardens for the Creature Conservation Initiative. We protect the world from the creatures of superstition and myth, but more importantly, protect those same creatures from the world. So Jack, we're back for the next episode. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you very much, and I'm excited to hear what we are talking about today.
Yeah, you have all the reasons to be. We are talking about one of the rare creatures where the myths about it are actually underselling what it's capable of.
Nice.
And you may have heard of this one. It has a bit of a reputation. We are talking about the Squonk.
Oh, the Squonk. Oh, yes.
Squonk.
Yes.
Seems like you know about it.
I have heard about it, and I have been trying so much to let the higher-ups actually send me over to handle one. Or,
it's not as exciting as you think, to be honest.
Yeah, but
we'll get into that.
But everyone who's dealt with them says they're so cute.
I don't know who you've been talking to.
Have they been lying to me?
Yes, probably. Or maybe they've had some mind-altering substances. Who knows?
Is the Squonk able to alter your mind?
I mean, yes and no, actually. Not directly, but...
Okay. Well, I've not dealt with them, personally. I've not had the pleasure of dealing with them. But I do hear it's quite a popular assignment, so I am always kind of curious to hear a little bit more.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. It's a popular assignment because people only know the stories, and it's a little weird creature, and I'd love to see it, but they don't really understand what it does to you when you see it, and that's how we lost. Well, not lost, but we had a good few new agents to the initiative be out of commission for a while because they just couldn't deal with it. And it's not like it's physically dangerous, but we'll get to that.
It's mentally dangerous?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's not like they want to, but
okay,
we'll get to that. Let's start from the top. So, they are home to the USA. More specifically, they mainly live in a hemlock forest in northern Pennsylvania. At least that's where the only place where we've encountered them so far. And I was there a while ago, and I wasn't super excited about it because. Whenever you have a job in the US, it's no matter where you've been before, it's always a long, long flight. And you know how I'm about flying, but that's another story. What you and some of our listeners probably know about this little creature is that it's incredibly ugly. And it's also one of our younger ones compared to some of the other creatures that we've been dealing with. And
sounds a little bit like you're describing me so far, but ugly and young.
I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny. Anyway, I don't know about you, but the Squonk, the earliest that we've heard about it is from around 19th century, and the earliest written record was actually in a book from 1910 called Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods with a Few Desert and Mountain Beasts.
Okay.
That's the actual title.
Okay. I mean, I've never really heard anyone class Squonk as fearsome, but so far your introduction has made me wonder.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was onto something there. Yeah, and as I said, they were known a bit before that, but we don't really know why they suddenly showed up then. because, creatures usually don't just pop into existence somewhere in the 19th century. We're still trying to figure that one out.
Okay.
What we think we know so far is that they probably originally came from more desert areas and then slowly migrated through swampy areas, and then at the end somehow finally settled down in this forest area. And it kind of matches the theme of this creature, that it doesn't want to be seen. So in the desert, there's not a lot of places to hide. So it went onto the swamp where it's a bit better, and then in the forest it can run around the trees and try to hide a bit more from the world.
Okay, that makes a bit of sense, really. When you were initially talking, it sounded quite the trip to go from deserts to Pennsylvania, a place which I don't really know too much about, but I understand not really desert-like, so I was wondering why it suddenly made this migration. But you say they like to try and hide.
Yeah, they are very aware of their appearance, and they actively try to hide. And actually, probably for anyone who doesn't know about this, it's a four-legged animal, a bit like a pig or something. And there have actually been cases where people thought they found a squonk, but it was just a particularly fat pig or something. But it is a creature that seems to have a lot more skin than is necessary for its body size. So there's folds everywhere, and there's warts and whatnot, and it's really quite ugly, and they are very aware of that, and that's why they are basically distressed the entire time, and whenever anyone has seen one, they're crying.
Oh!
Yeah. And so far it would be cute, but what we found is that this ugliness, judging by other animals that you've seen around the world, be they common or more in our organization.
Yeah.
How many have you seen that actually worry about their appearance? Much less so much that they cry about being ugly.
No, that just caught me off guard a little bit there. I don't really know that many. I think most of them don't tend to be that bothered about how they look. They tend to be, more, bothered about their instincts, their MO, whatever that creature does. But the one thing I can say so far is, Warden Jenkins?
Yes, I've seen him a few times.
Well, he's now in trouble with me because he's the one who's been telling me that they're absolutely cute as a button and you just want to hug them. He has been lying to me. I personally do not have a desire to hug a skin flab pig.
They're cute in concept, maybe, and you do want to kind of calm them down a bit. Like, they're always sad, and you want to
comfort them.
Yeah, you want to comfort them, but the thing is, as I said, it's an animal, and those usually don't care about their physical appearance too much. But this is so much, not only objectively, but I don't like to use the word supernatural because it is in nature, so clearly it's natural and not supernatural, but I can't think of a better word to describe what's going on here. Because it's having this extreme effect. Yeah. And it's not only having an effect on the creature, but also on people who see it. And it's when they send you on an operation to deal with these, they don't even let you go without signing a religious distress waiver, because most of the people that have dealt with the squonk, whatever they believed in before, came back as atheists, because basically when they encountered this creature, all believed that there was a loving god or other benevolent force just left the room because they wouldn't allow anything this ugly to exist. And it all sounds funny, but we've actually had people come back with serious mental trauma and depression because they suddenly realized
there is no God.
There is no God, and there's such injustice in the universe. And
my God. Well, funny words for me to say there. There's actually a creature that ugly, it denies the existence of God.
Yes. That is really something. Yeah, and that's why I'm saying it's kind of supernatural almost.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you.
You know, people don't usually look at something and just lose all their worldview and their beliefs. But yeah, we've actually had some trouble with that. And, you know, myself, I've been an agnostic most of my life, but when I saw them, I was basically like, now I'm sure. Nothing could have possibly willingly made that.
I mean, I shouldn't laugh about this. I know I really shouldn't laugh about this, because you are talking about a creature that has the ability to make you question your entire belief system. And like, we've spoken a couple of times on some of these episodes, and you can probably guess that between the two of us, we're not really that religious. I mean, I respect religious freedom. Feel free to, you know, believe whatever you would like. It's just not for myself, and I guess you would probably agree.
Yes, 100%.
But we do have quite a few wardens who, you know, come from religious backgrounds, and sometimes some of the stuff that we show them does test their views, because, you know, they've heard about these creatures. They're demonic creatures, or they're evil creatures according to their religious text. So it does test them. But wow, I genuinely wouldn't have put it down to this one creature in Pennsylvania that looks like a flabby pig, as I've already said, has the ability to destroy your religious identity.
Different people react differently, of course, but overall, the trend we've seen that is more than just random chance. So there's very, very obvious effect on the mental state of agents who have dealt with it.
Certainly.
And often they need to have a recovery period afterwards.
Yeah.
And after a while, you kind of get used to it. And once you're away for a while, you think of it and you think, wasn't really that bad. It's probably something about being close to it that materializes this effect. But yeah, it's quite the experience either way.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they live in this forest in Pennsylvania, as I said, and once the population grows too large, they tend to attract the attention of hunters in the area. And they are quite easy to track because wherever they go, they kind of leave this trail of little puddles and wet earth because they're just crying all the way.
Oh my god, they are actually just constantly crying.
They're constantly crying. They must drink incredible amounts of water just to stay hydrated at all.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
yeah.
They must be like dunking themselves, drowning themselves constantly.
They must be, but also we've seen them actually stay away from bodies of water, especially during bright days or moonlit nights, because they might see their own reflection in the water and they actively avoid that. That's why they're mostly active during the twilight hours, like at dusk or dawn.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't want to be seen, not even by themselves. It's quite the existence, actually.
Poor creatures.
I can relate.
Okay, yeah.
So,
moving swiftly on.
As I said, they attract the attention of hunters, and of course the hunters, most of them only heard the stories about them, and they think, what's so bad about it? And they go looking for it, even if it's only for the bragging rights of, hey, I actually found a squonk.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course, this creature has the same effect on their mental health, which makes this a problem.
Wow.
And even if the hunter doesn't kill the creature actively, what happens is when a squonk gets cornered or even gets too stressed out or gets too agitated, they cry so much that they actually dissolve in their own tears.
Oh my god.
All that's left is like a sticky puddle of what was a squonk.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So they liquefy.
They liquefy. It's like we've tested the tears, and there's nothing really dangerous about them. It seems to be a sort of chemical reaction between the tears and the skin.
So do they die?
They die. They just dissolve and then they're gone.
Wow.
I don't know what's that movie where the dude melts into an acid thing? Was that RoboCop? I don't remember.
Probably. But, I don't remember, but
yeah.
Still, that's they. So
it's grim.
So I've just got to get this right in my head. We've got Flabby Pig, who
yes
leaves a trail of tears because they're crying that they are so ugly, and that they are actually so ugly they cause mental trauma to individuals who do physically see them. They avoid being seen at any time by themselves where possible.
Yes.
And when they get so stressed and angry or unhappy or cornered, they dissolve themselves and die.
Yes. Which also makes it very difficult to even relocate them, because when we try to catch them, we have to be so careful about agitating them, because
I wouldn't even know how you'd go about that.
It's a lot of patience, and there was when I was sent there was a little bit of talk about maybe they'll feel more comfortable in the presence of someone as ugly as themselves, which I must protest against, but
okay, well, now I'm working out why I've never been sent.
You're just too beautiful. I've always said it.
I'm kidding, of course. Anyway, but yeah, carry on. Sorry, I know I'm interrupting here, but this is just amazing.
Yeah, it's a wild creature, and the only chance you have to catch them at all is to basically take your time, win their trust, give them treats, and at some point maybe they'll. If you've ever seen these videos of people trying to get stray cats into a carrier or something,
yeah,
like they spend weeks putting out treats, and then they get closer every day and all of that stuff. So it's basically the same process, and you see that they keep mistrusting you, because probably it seems they have such a negative image of themselves that they think there's no way this other creature could possibly like me. Okay.
And the entire time when you're trying to do this, you're obviously going through the kind of like that mental attack. Yeah. So you're spending weeks visually, kind of visualizing this creature and having your entire world rocked every time you see it. Do you become like inured to it?
Yeah, you kind of get used to it. It's when you first see them, it's quite a shock, but then the second time, it's not. You know what to expect, and the effect is less severe, and it keeps going like that. You kind of become desensitized to the whole thing.
Okay.
So I guess kind of that process is for yourself to go through the process that you can. I've said process a lot, but you can. Go through the steps to become more comfortable around them yourselves as they become comfortable around you.
Okay.
And that's what we tend to do when the population gets too large. We try to gather their trust and get a few of them and relocate them into some environments we've set up for them. And we have
a very dark room.
Yeah, kind of. And we have to be very careful about reflective surfaces and all that, because they really don't like to see themselves. What we have not figured out, we have never gotten them to breed in captivity.
Okay.
And we have no idea how they do it in the wild, because they obviously must do, because they replenish their numbers. But even when they see each other's, they don't want that either.
I was going to say, they must.
We're not quite sure how that works.
Yeah, I was going to say they must want to not see each other if they hate themselves.
Yes.
They must not want to see each other. They must not want to be seen by another squonk. God.
Yeah.
They have such a lonely existence. No wonder they're crying.
It's very lonely and sad, and that's why I said you kind of want to comfort them, because I don't know, if there's such a thing as a curse, then these are creatures that are cursed by some being or another. It's just a very extremely depressing existence.
Yeah.
What's funny is last time we talked a bit about tourist traps that give us a bit of money, and there's actually a town in the area called Johnstown. Very original. I don't know if one of us set this up, but anyway, they have a festival that they celebrate every year in August. Guess what it's called? I need you to guess.
Squonk Fest.
Almost. It's called the Squonkapalooza. And that's where they celebrate the squonk and all kinds of cryptozoological creatures. I think of the US, or maybe in general, I'm not sure.
We must have a presence there every year.
Yeah, of course. It's one of the, how we stretch the budget a bit. Just once a year we have a little bit.
Send a few wardens.
Yeah, have a bit of a festival, and yeah, it's also a good source of information, of course, for us, because sometimes these people actually see something, and it's good for us to know where and when and why.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the investigations team uses a lot of different resources. I've mentioned it a few times. Reddit is invaluable.
It really is. Yeah, and yeah, that's basically it. We when the numbers grow too large, we try to remove some from the area. And the other thing we have to deal with is hunters that have found the squonks. They often end up in psychological care.
Okay.
And we often provide we provide therapists, because our therapists know about this and can handle it better than any run-of-the-mill therapist in Johnstown or whatever can, because they're probably not going to believe them anyway in the first place. So we try to help them as best we can there. And usually it gets better after a while, but it's not quite as light-hearted as it sounds on the surface always.
Yeah, apparently. Well, my main question really then is, do we know the mechanism of I know we've talked about it, I don't think we do, but do you know the mechanism behind what actually happens to you mentally when you see this creature? You've said about it being some kind of like reaction to physically seeing this. Is it some kind of like psychic kind of thing? You know, a little bit like if we go all the way back to episode 2 where we talked about the basilisk. You know, we thought that there was something to do with hormones or like radiation coming from the eyes. Is this literally just a case of this creature is just that ugly that it triggers this response in the brain? Or do we think it's some kind of, you know, hormone, pheromone, something being sprayed out?
It's hard to say. That is definitely an angle that is a factor, because they also stink, and basically every aspect of them is in some way or another is ugly. Like they even have an annoying voice.
They have a voice.
Voice as in how an animal has a voice, so they make these vocalizations like it's really really annoying. It's
oh my god, that one did catch me off guard really there.
Yeah, we don't really know how specifically it works. It seems to be a combination of different factors, like the objective ugliness is of course one factor. It's even pictures of it can be, you won't find them beautiful. But combined with the stench and whatever pheromones they send out, that definitely triggers a reaction. And what we are quite certain of is that they don't actively do it or don't do it on purpose, because, as I said before, it's having an effect on themselves and also on other squonks that could be potential mates and all that stuff. Wow. So it must be some involuntary thing.
Yeah.
And we're not quite sure. The pheromones alone did not, while they didn't make people feel good, they didn't have the full effect. So I can only assume it's like a combination package, and the whole is bigger than the sum of its parts. And when sight and sound and smell and all of that is in one place, then it unfolds its full effect on you.
Yeah, makes sense.
As much as it can with the Squonk.
Yeah. The Squonk is quite the creature.
It is quite the creature.
Yeah, and I am definitely going to be shouting at Jenkins.
Do you still want to hug them?
I'm good, I think. Especially after you talked about the smell.
Yeah, I've had to take so many showers after that week. Sometimes I feel like I can still smell it on some of my clothes.
Oh, that bad.
Even on clothes that I didn't even have with me on that trip.
Oh, there's got to be a psychic component then.
Probably. But it's mostly harmless enough, so we just leave them be as far as we can.
Yeah, well, we possibly can.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I suppose that's all we can talk about the Squonk, because there's really not much more to them. And yeah, if you like this and don't want to miss the other episodes, then subscribe, give us a rating, because ratings are nice. Share it with everyone you know, share it with the secret underground organization that you're part of. And we also have a Discord that you can join to discuss this creature and all the other creatures we've talked about. You can suggest new creatures for us to talk about. You can suggest for us to shut up, but we would be very hurt because that's mean. And you know how it works. Do the socials, and we're going to see you for the next episode.
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.